Thank you very much. Thank you. Good work. Pleasure and my pleasure and my privilege to be here today. In this crazy simple recovered Gimmel Tammuz. I have the schools of being a shliach for the Rebbe more than 60 years. So you may be asking yourself, 30 years from the Stalkers, where do I go from here? And what has that got to do with me? And I never saw the Rebbe, and so on. Just know that what the Rebbe said and did before Gimmel Tammuz, in the years, in the weeks, it was Divrei Tzadikim Chaim V'Kayom Emuad. The Rebbe was not talking just about today, tomorrow. The Rebbe was talking about the future. And the Rebbe is there and watching him as Hashem and giving koiches, as fleeced brachos from the Rebbe, from those who continue with the work that the Rebbe set up. If it tells you something, let me tell you, those who had this chus to see the Rebbe, they saw Eloikus, Neslabesh, in Aguf Kashmir. This is what it was. Everything that the Rebbe did, everything that they said, is very Moshiach-dik. A sipur. I don't know which sipur to go because we don't have too much time, and we should not hold you too long either. You may be saying to yourself that, we feel like this about the Rebbe, but why not? With Lubavitchers, how else should we feel? What does others feel? What does other people say outside? Let me share a little bit this with you, okay? What other people say. It may be simple in your eyes, but it's not simple in my eyes. I told the Bochurim that I knew a rabbi in West Orange, New Jersey, Rabbi Hillel Horowitz, Olav Shalom. He was a rabbi in New Jersey, and he was a chaplain in a hospital also. He was a musmach von Yeshivas Chaim Berlin. Nicht kein Lubavitcher, nicht kein Chassid, aber nicht kein Misnaged auch nicht. And Rabbi Horowitz told me that, I think it was during the 80s, what the tumult that Rebbe's Moshiach was, when the television and the press and it's such a tumult developed to this Moshiach. So Rabbi Horowitz tells me one day, a well-meaning doctor approached him and said, Rabbi Horowitz, all this conversation about Rabbi Schneerson being the Messiah, is there something true to it? What's your opinion? So he responded like this. So when I heard this, I asked Rabbi Horowitz, what did you answer to that? He said, I answered like this. Whether the Rebbe is Moshiach or not, this is not for me to make judgment. This is way above me. I don't belong there. But one thing I can tell you, if there is a selection, there is something about choosing who is Moshiach, I can tell you that the Rebbe is a very serious candidate. This is a Ayid Chaim Berlin Yeshiva, outsiders, and says that a very serious candidate. Let me jump to somebody else now. There was a Rav, a Choshev Rav in Agudas Rabbonim. You don't know what means Agudas Rabbonim today. In my days, in those days, in days of Rabbi Shapiro, Agudas Rabbonim was one of the principal Rabbanish organizations. And he was a member of the Agudas Rabbonim, and in fact, in the sector of Gittin and Chlitzes, he was the expert of Gittin and Chlitzes. And he told me like this, no, I had to go someplace. I took the bus, and when I went in, I knew the Rav, but never spoke to him, but I knew who he is. What's his name? Did you get the name? What's his name? Rav what? The Rav. Yeah. No. Huh? No. Okay, all right. No, okay, all right. I saw the Rav, and I remember my first machshava was, I'm boarding the bus. Should I have the chutzpah to sit down near him? Or should I plan a space there to... Rav Krieger does. Rav Krieger. Yeah. I sat down near him. He was a very smart person, Rav Krieger. Very smart, outgoing, fine individual, friendly. And he asked me right away, Lubavitch? I said, yeah, Lubavitch. And we started talking. He started to tell me things. And then came to a point where I told him to start talking about the Rebbe. I want to share with you what Rav Krieger said. He said that about the Rebbe, he started out the conversation saying that in Yiddish, Ich hab noch gesehen Rabbeim in Europa. I was privileged to see rabbis in Europe yet. When he said those words, my antenna went up, because I was sure that I know exactly what he's going to say. What he's going to say is like many others who used the expression that the rabbis in Chutz La'aretz are not the same as the rabbis in Europe. I thought this was coming and I was getting ready. My antenna went up. But he continued saying this. As many times as I spoke to the Rebbe, and I hear in halacha, was it like a klal Israel, not just as a simple halacha, a halacha that's like a klal Israel, complicated things. So Rav Krieger says usually when you talk to a Godel and you express something like this, Kashayla, he stops, he thinks a little bit, and he gives you an answer. Not by the Rebbe. The answer came immediately. Sie schon gewinn durchgetracht. You already thought about this, it is did many times. It was nothing new to him. This had already gone through the Rebbe's mind now. And then he said that the Rebbe's shittas was clear to him, this is his lashon, clear like crystal, clear like crystal. The shittas of the Rebbe, he said. Amol the Chumra and Amol the Kula. Sometimes the Chumra, sometimes the Kula. But always very clear to him. And then Rav Krieger turns to me and says, "Das hab ich in Europa nicht gesehen." I was afraid that he's going to say that Rebbe is here. He says that Rebbe is like this, even in Europe I didn't say. Those Rebbe like this, ich sag viel in Europa habe ich nicht gesehen. This was stop here. Got it? Got it? Abacha asked me, I'm going to cut it now. Abacha asked me, what can you tell me? Abacha, 19 years old, 30 years later, what can you tell me for some changes for Gimmel Tammuz, 30 years? First of all, another Bocher I heard, we were talking in that Bocher said, Be'ezras Hashem is Baruch, Hashem can help. In a minute, that there won't be another 30 years. There won't be 30 years. Maybe as a Mashiach, now Manish. I mean, can you not see? I mean, Feske, what can you tell me first? What I can tell you, to the best of my knowledge, is nothing new. You don't have to be Mechadish Kinyonim. The Rebbe gave you complete direction and everything to do. Apoche in Yeshiva, das lernen Nidlo und Chassidus, Bishufi, das ist der Rebbe's Loschen, learn a lot. And the Rebbe wanted you to go on Mivtzoyim Friday and to film and Mikhail saying, noch Hayid, noch Hayid, and noch Hayid. That continues. There's no Chiddush in that. The Chiddush continue that. And you know them up, premium of Bochurim, the Rebbe wanted you to be careful in Pirush Amilos when you daven. And when you daven, look at the Siddur and see the Pirush Amilos as much as you possibly can. All of us have Machshavas Zoros, but try to contain this as much as possible and then watch the Pirush Amilos. That's like they are. And, if I may say, go further, Bochurim that learn Chassidus at your age, Try Shoatog, nicht gefällig, that for 5-10 minutes, learning the film, that you have a little this burniness on the minor that you just learned. His brain is quite what you'll let it take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's okay, doesn't matter. But it's not mufrach. And this will build you up as a Chassidish Bocher and a Chassidish Ingeman, and Be'ezras Hashem is Baruch, you'll be a Shaliach of the Rebbe. Film noch der was Moshiach wird kommen, wird sein Schuldkamp von Rebbe. Well, to say one thing, and I was I'll be Messiah. Was meant a Shaliach for Rebbe. There was a Rebbe from Eretz Yisrael, a Biala Rebbe. He used to come to a challenge every year to raise money. Minach and Shalshulis used to come to Chabad, and we spent time together by Minach and Shalshulis. This was Friday. I went to the mikveh in Morristown. I go into the mikveh, I see his gabbai is standing there. and I motioned with the rabbi said that the Rebbe is inside by the mikveh. Nobody is allowed to go there until he comes out. I said, no, okay, but it wasn't a minute. We'll wait a few minutes. In those few minutes, again, he started asking me questions. What is saying a man like you, a person like you, is doing here in a modern city like West Orange? So I answered, in a shaliach from Lubavitch Rebbe. When he heard this, he said, "He seid a shaliach from Lubavitch Rebbe? Are you a shaliach from Rebbe?" I said, "Yes. In this case, I want a bracha from you." And he extended his hand, and I gave him my hand, and I gave him a bracha. But if you're a shaliach from Lubavitch Rebbe, he wants a bracha from you. This is what the world is looking about the Rebbe, beyond what we can sich vorstellen. The Rebbe's bracha was then, the Rebbe bracha says that here, nothing changed, nothing. Let's just continue doing what we have to do. And Hashem is Baruch, the Rachmov and Rubin, who will do what he wants to do. And the word of Mamish now, and we have the schools to be there, send them Rebbe in a Guf Gashmi, mit fröhlicher Welt und Gesundheit. A gute Woche. A solche